Jason McCann here with Mountain Tactical Company. Hey, I want to talk to you today about accuracy, specifically about accuracy of rifles that we build. And it's a little controversial, but I don't guarantee the accuracy of any rifle I build. I will guarantee the machining all day long, but I will not guarantee the accuracy because every shooter is different. You just might have a shooter, he just doesn't know how to shoot and he thinks he can buy accuracy. Whereas you guys have been shooting for a while and know the only thing that can guarantee accuracy is trigger time. So I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean with a rifle that we built. There's an interesting story behind this rifle that I'll get into a little later. But the guy says it doesn't shoot. It shoots 3/4 MOA. He says that's not good enough for him. And so I told him to send 20 rounds of ammo so he could test it and bring everything back. And so he brought it all back here, and let me show you what we found. Okay, so multiple things affect accuracy. And I personally, as long as I know the machining of the rifle is done well, which we're Tika shooters, the Finns do an excellent job of machining. Every once in a while they send a rifle out that doesn't shoot, but for the most part, the rifles are bomb-proof. This particular rifle, I bore scoped the chamber, I test fired it 5 rounds into a nice little bug hole prior to sending it to the customer. So I know the machining's solid. So the first place I'm gonna start is ammo. Now, if your ammo is not concentric, which means that the bullet's not perfectly round to the case and the case is not perfectly round to the bore, the bullet's gonna be in the chamber crooked, which is obviously an issue. So Sinclair, being the precision-minded people that they are, created this handy little gauge to help guys determine if their rounds are concentric. Now, typically speaking, I mean, this is just a general rule and it depends on the level of accuracy you're going for. Obviously, 0 run out is perfect. In the real world, you're not going to get 0 run out, but if you can get it 2 or 3 thousandths, that is acceptable for most applications. And so what we do here is we rotate this and then we watch this needle. So watch that needle. So we're down to, we'll call it the 40. This is about 8 thousandths out of concentricity. This round's never gonna shoot accurately. I mean, it might shoot sub MOA, but it's not gonna show the potential of the rifle. Ooh, here we go. Let's try this again. This one's almost 10 thousandths out of concentricity. This one's not as bad. This one we're looking at about 6-ish thousandths out of concentricity. So it may or may not shoot. So here's a just grab this out of our stock stuff that we've reloaded here in the shop with our own dies. And I'm looking at, okay, down here. We're at 3 thousandths out of concentricity. So what causes the bullet to be out of concentricity? Well, you could have a bad jacket on the bullet where you have a thick spot on there. But, and I measured all these prior to shooting this video, and his issue is all his necks are out of concentricity, which means his reloading dies are bad. And so I'll adjust this here real quick, show you how this works. You slide this so you can use multiple cartridges on here, and I'm going to just lock this down here, and I'm going to show you how concentric this neck is. So here's our needle up here, barely moving. We have about 1.5. Oh, I skipped it there. Let's get a better measurement here. 1 to 1.5. So it's between 1 and 1.5 thousandths out of concentricity. And this is with dies proven. We use the Redding competition dies, and This round, I mean, this is what I'd expect to see out of a non-turn neck, is usually 1 to 2 thousandths concentricity. If we turn these necks, we can get them dead nuts perfect. So let's go out and shoot this rifle and see what does this all mean. All right, well, here we are out here with the rifle. I brought some of the loaded ammo that we have loaded at the shop, some of the customers loaded ammo that we saw that was out of concentricity, and I brought some factory ammo as well so we can compare accuracy of everything. So I just threw a scope on here that we had at the shop. I'm going to get it sighted in, and then we will test it, see why this rifle's not shooting. Let's see what we got to make our adjustment. I'm going to keep shooting, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this particular rifle and about this particular customer. I don't like talking about customers individually, especially ones that are having issues. But as I elaborate, I think you'll understand why I have no issues explaining the details of this particular customer. So I'm going to keep shooting. And then I think I'm going to take this, I don't even know what velocity we're getting or anything, but I think I'm going to take some of the customer's own ammo and I'm going to hit our 1,000-yard gong with it. This rifle shoots great. This is, I mean, as you can see, it's not moving, it's stable. This has all of the best of Mountain Tactical in it, and it's performing downrange as such. So, anyways, I'm going to keep shooting. I won't bore you guys at this point. And I'll go into specifics about the build and about the customer after I prove my point that much more. All right, well, you can tell I was rushing a bit. We have all 5 rounds up here, sub MOA. It's when the cows were moving in, so definitely sub MOA there, about half MOA here. Moving about, that's all right. I'm not bothering you girls. Customers, ammunition that was out of concentricity back at the shop, 3 1/4 MOA here. I shot 2 3-shot groups here, both just kind of ragged holes. No, excuse me, I did that and then I adjusted my scope. And I did that one, so that's, you know, a 3-shot group, adjusted my scope, and then right there with the ammo that we load in-house, that's 5 rounds. So that's the difference between having concentric ammo, loading reloading, having good reloading practices. This whole rifle has me so frustrated, I'm sorry. I mean, 5 rounds into that bug hole versus, I mean, 3/4 MOA is still a decent group, but he's obviously having issues with his dies. Let's turn around. I'm gonna take one of these rounds and I'm gonna ring our 1,000-yard gong. So let's do that, and then I'll fill you in on the rest of this. All right, so I'm gonna start at the 500-yard gong because I have no idea what the muzzle velocity is with the ammo that Thomas loaded. And I'm gonna estimate 2,700 feet per second. We are shooting a 26-inch barrel. Loaded that into my shooter app. That gives me 9.8 MOA. So we're sighted in at 100 yards. I'm gonna shoot that, verify the dope, and then we'll take it to a thou. And we're using his ammo that we've already proven is highly out of concentration. And I'm just going to use holdovers in the scope. I'm shooting a Vortex HSLR 6-24 by 50. We have the Christmas tree reticle in here. Really cool reticle. Wait for situations like this when I don't want to re-zero the whole scope and I just want to verify data. So, all right, let's see what we got. Smacked it, a little high. All right, so that was actually 8 MOA, according to my Christmas tree. So let's use 8 MOA. We have about 1 MOA of wind. See what we get here. Still a little high. More like 7 MOA. You must have these things loaded really hot. Off to the right. Man, this ammo that he loaded is crap. That's okay. We'll just figure out the dope for the 1,000 and shoot that. All right, our wind flag's really going at 1,000. Let's see if I bump that load up to all right, edit this. I'm gonna say, let's give it 2,800 feet per second. We're shooting a 140 grain Burger hybrid. Let's resolve this for 1,000. 28.7 MOA. Elevation. 6.5 MOA for wind. All right, well, let's see what happens. And I am just using holdovers, so that makes this all the more interesting. Well, there we go. We took unknown load data, hit the gong twice. I mean, this rifle, it's just so easy to shoot. Tikas are exceptionally easy to shoot, but I mean, we have an M24 barrel profile. We turned it down to match the receiver. We have a Remington style recoil lug, our competition bed job all the way through the chamber. We Cerakoted this Federal Brown. We have our 20 MOA Elite rail. This is a Manners composite stock, really nice stock actually. I mean, this rifle's amazing. Now, the guy who asked us to build it for him contacted us, says he's in charge of the secret squirrel Southeast Sniper Task Force for Department of Homeland Security. And to start out, he seemed very legit. He had all the right lingo. I don't know, as the relationship went on, all of a sudden he's talking about, having me fly out there. He'll take me to the farm. And I know some guys with some pretty high security clearances, and they're not even allowed on the farm. So my bullshit-o-meter is going off the charts there. We sent him this rifle, and all of a sudden he sends me these emails. He's texting me. He's lighting me up saying this rifle doesn't shoot. Well, as you guys see, we shot all sorts of ammo through this thing, and it shoots just fine. And I mean, shoot, I don't even know the load data, and I was able to ring the gong twice at 1,000 yards. So there's nothing wrong with this rifle. And so I told him to send it back plus 20 rounds of his loaded ammunition so I could test it. More often than not, it's reloaded ammo that causes problems. It's poor reloading practices. And he sends me a suppressor through the mail illegally, no forms. Well, I have to immediately call the ATF. I'm not willing to risk my license for this guy who's supposedly Department of Homeland Security. And it was interesting because while I called the ATF, they did some background. This guy doesn't work for Department of Homeland Security. He was a chief on some C-130 up in Kodiak, Alaska for the Coast Guard. Goes down to the Carolinas, opens up this tactical training school. He then sends me a letter from his Captain Lighton, which Captain Lighton, come to find out, just works in a warehouse. Not even a captain, he's a gunnery sergeant. Works in a warehouse for the Coast Guard. And ripping me a new one. I mean, it's bad enough that he's pretending to be somebody he's not, but the guy can't shoot, and he's blaming me. It's causing this huge ruckus. He's breaking so many laws, wasting my time. I have spent a total of 16 hours on the phone with government agencies talking about this rifle. That's just ridiculous. So, anyways, I'm done venting. The rifle, this is awesome. This is an example of what we build as far as custom rifles out of our shop. As you can see, I'm not even the best shooter in the world, and I can make this rifle shoot. I do have very good reloading practices. I will guarantee the machining on any rifle we build, it's going to be within 2/10,000ths of an inch tolerance. Any ammo that I load is dead nuts. I shoot competitions and I want to remove as many variables as possible. So the ammunition I'm shooting that I reloaded is dead nuts, and you can see the difference in accuracy from our previous test. So, perfect example. You can't buy accuracy. You gotta have trigger time. You gotta train. And in my opinion, no gunsmith should ever guarantee the accuracy of a rifle they sell, because it's not the rifle, it's the shooter. We can machine it perfectly. We can make everything dead nuts. And the guy just can't shoot. So, anyways, enough of this video. Awesome rifle. Dirtbag guy. Hopefully he gets in trouble for impersonating a federal officer. You guys have a good one. I'm going to shoot this some more.